Hey everyone, it's your pal Chris back in the reboot room. Let's see here. We are streaming solo today, so we might have a few more technical difficulties. Hopefully not. And this week we actually have some people who have registered, so I'm just waiting for them to show up. But I thought in the meantime we could check out some ChatGPT things. So, in case you haven't heard, just yesterday, we have a new 5.2 model that was released. So, I'm going to take a second to get that up on this screen. And while we're doing that, let's just see. ChatGPT. Okay. So, I'm sure the audio is working this time. So, last week we had some problems. All right, it's going to take me a second though to log in. Just wait for my browser to open here. And you know what? So in our account, we have a few different things that we can try out too. Get logged in. What is this? This is new. They have some video over here. Now, unfortunately, if I play this on this computer, you're not going to hear it on that computer, but maybe what I can do is I'm just going to close that door over there and we'll play this. We'll probably pick up on my microphone. Ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. And they're throwing that AGI word around. Let's see what this says. Let's adjust the speaker.
Yeah, I cannot tell the difference between dogs and cats. But we believe deep learning could go very far. That it could actually be a big triumph for humanity. So we headed off on a trip.
This is over on openai.com.
Something. But one day a researcher playing around with text prediction noticed something interesting. He told on that thread. We're not sure what we had. We believed it scale. So we kept going. And we're learning a lot. We've had a lot of ideas over the last 10 years. The last 3 years have been tremendous. But maybe the most incredible part is that we really are just getting started.
Okay, it's their 10-year anniversary video. Okay, we don't need to replay though. Pause. They're not using a YouTube player, so I can't. Okay, well, I did not realize that. 10-year anniversary for them, huh? Okay, let's get logged in here. Continue, password. Just one more step. What might be interesting is trying out some of the searches we did last week. So for those of you who don't know, our city, city website, paloalto.gov recently launched its own chatbot. and we were finding some things that it could do, couldn't do this last Friday. Maybe I'll do the same thing with GPT 5.2. And if that doesn't, well, we might get through that quick. There's a few other things. Okay, we're just waiting for our... Oh. Never mind. I was waiting for an email and that's not where that was stored. Cool, there it is. So duplicate my screen here. Let's get that up there. I was talking to someone earlier this week, and we really started with this with ChatGPT and just large language models really at the start in like 2023 with the public preview. So from that, we had a few other events. Our AI storytelling. We've tested and tried out a few other like bots internally for our own stuff, our own staff workflows, which I might dig in there later on. But really, it's been like since the very beginning. And to reflect on that, each step along the way, each new feature seems to totally change the game. So the first one I remember was the memories feature and how that kind of changed our approach to this, especially with things like early experiments with having this do cataloging, like automatic book cataloging. The key thing there is that for most libraries, you have your own local practices that you do, so it doesn't really change much if you have a bot that can search the web that can do the same thing. Like we're really, there's a lot more like specific things to a specific library. I said that funny. That you would have to train it instead of having it. We will not intuitively know these things about how you organize your collection. And then we had, let's see, then we had the GPTs that they added. That was another sort of interesting test run. Maybe I can show. I don't know if many people know this, like making a GPT, your own custom chatbot is not that intense. And so we have this one humorously titled Packlebot Prime. That, there's let me close Teams. Send a little alert from there. Up on my screen. Let's see, this one was set up to, actually search our library website and catalog. So this is a good one to compare with what we were looking at last week, which was what does the city chatbot see on our website versus, OpenAI and their now GPT-5 setup. Although I'm noticing this one said 4.0. Let's update it. Interesting. So we've got a few more options now. I'm curious what the auto setting will do here. So let's try that. And then maybe we'll do some editing. So let's see. Last week we were asking it like, okay, how can I get a library card? I know it will be able to answer this one, so we're not expecting anything unusual. Yep, and it's going to the same city website. Let's get a library card page. Interesting that it's asking me, is this safe or not? Okay, interesting. It actually has the wrong link. Right, just to compare here. Whoops, didn't mean to click that. This one will work. I'm wondering why I got that link wrong. Right? We said, how can I get a library card? Sent us over here to using the library, get a library card. Here we are with the accurate information. And, oh, you know why? Okay. Okay, this brings up an interesting point, actually. This went to cityofpaloalto.org/department/library/using the library, get a library card. That's our old domain name. I'm wondering, maybe there's a problem with, we got it right over here. Okay. Maybe I can get the right link. That link was 404. Is there a newer one? I think that's called that's a leading question, so it should be able to get that right. No. And this might come down to a difference of which search engine or how is it using. All right. So I want to say that last I remember, OpenAI was using Bing search to do this. I know this is correct in Google search, but how can I get a library card? This probably doesn't know where I am though, so it's not gonna, I gotta be more specific here. No, this is the right one. So, why did it get this wrong? Is this just part of its all caps for a second there. Try searching the web. Maybe it's not, maybe it's actually using something from its like past training data. I don't have live real time. Really, you don't? Huh, is that a limit of Well, first impressions of 5.2, not so good. If I switch models, will that help? Oh. Okay, I know what happened. Okay. Beware. All right, we're gonna go into this create edit mode thing here. I think what I did, because we made this a couple years ago, I forgot to do that. So the basic setup here was just a custom prompt, some instructions, access through that website. How about this? I'll just read through the I'm going to keep an eye on the chat room here. And let's see if, oh, you know what? Yeah, Chris, how about we use the actual phone stand for your phone? Let's put it on the stand. What has happened here? Whoa, turn that volume down. There's a new feature in YouTube. I don't know if you've tried it out, where you can actually say like ask this video, and it'll go beyond just searching the transcripts of the video, like the closed captioning, and it kind of has it's the Gemini model and has a little more understanding of like what is in that video. So I think it might be interesting. I'm just going to read out the instructions here so we can try that out later, maybe next week too. Okay, instructions. Packlebot Prime is specialized to assist users by conducting searches exclusively within the Palo Alto City Library website, which can be accessed through https://library.citypaloalto.org. It's designed to handle specific search requests related to books, user lists, general lists, blogs, FAQs, event, research material, and news related to the library alone. When a user asks for a book search, Packlebot Prime utilizes the HTTP element div class equals list underscore item underscore title for extracting book titles. Oh, wow, I forgot I did that. For different search types like titles, authors, subjects, series, and tags, it appends the appropriate query to the base URL, https://paloalto.bibliocommons.com /v2/search. So we're trying to direct it to, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, we actually have a URL for the catalog. So on BiblioCommons, and we have a live website over at the just the .org, currently at the .org address. So it has a unique URL structure for user lists, journalists, blogs, FAQs, events, research material, and news, but these are all confined within the domain of Palo Alto City Library. When a user specifies a search type, Packlebot Prime replaces input in the URL with the user's search term and navigates directly to the URL in the Palo Alto City Library website. This ensures all search results are exclusively within the Palo Alto City Library and no other library websites. I wonder if it will be able to do that now. And let's change that. Let's change that. We're going to say update. Yes, this is currently an invite-only setup, so because there will be bugs. Okay, we've updated. This was last edited today. Oh, does this have a... Wow. Has it been that long? Okay, we haven't really... this was first made exactly 2 years ago, December... Well, I think I tested it out on December 12th, 2023. We did a few other ones on the 13th. I feel like I'm Indiana Jones, and I'm like in that, where? I feel like I've just uncovered something and I'm scraping the dust off. I'm blowing out the we're gonna see if this thing works. Some digital archaeology going on right now. We've not tried this thing in a while. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Get that out of here. We're in thinking mode. Start a new chat. And I had some pre-made ones here too, but let's see if this will... of course, a lot has changed since 2023, so these instructions are probably not super great right now, but that's not the point of this. Let's just see if we can... how do I get a library? Or no, what did I say exactly? We're gonna... Remember, how can I get a library card? There might be minor differences between me saying, how do I get a card, or how can I get a card? And I can't type. Oh, wait. For some reason it defaulted to the wrong one. Okay, so if I remember correctly, in 2023, web searching wasn't, that was like a premium feature, right? So we might not have had that. Or maybe I was just trying to test it out. This is pointing to FAQ, proof of address, yes. Okay, now this is going to the right website. Good, good. You can call or email that one, yep. Oh, this is interesting. General steps for most public libraries. And it's referencing some other library websites. And this is new too. This was not around in 2023 at all. This list of citations. At least from what I can remember. All right, if I switch this around. All right, we must have missed something here because it's still defaulting to that one. You know, maybe, okay, for the purposes of this video, how about we just make a new one, like, from scratch? Let's go back over here. Let's say create GPT. I'm curious how this will be different here. If we say make sure it's auto and it's calls Packlebot. Should I copy the same instructions or think, well, this is just a description. A chat bot for the Palo Alto City Library website. What does the GPT do? How does it behave? What should it avoid doing? Well, okay, from the prompt before, we should try to narrow it down to only search our website. So rely on library.cityalto.org to answer most questions. And I'm going to say because what it was doing earlier in that last test, like, it doesn't really help me if you're grabbing information from other library websites, because of course we're all a little bit different. So ignore other public libraries have different rules or policies. I can't spell. Cannot spell. I had some other thing about how to find the title on a page, and I think that came from testing things. But how about I should mention that, because I just limited it a little bit too much. Let's go to let's see how smart you are. To search events and find book titles, use that URL. Oops. You know, that might be enough. Recommend model. Users will use any model they prefer. Today we're going to say use this one. Do I want it to generate images? Code interpreter? Maybe not. I think I'm going to disable those things right now. Oh, it doesn't do that anymore. Okay, so earlier versions of this, it would like suggest a photo. It would like generate something. Not anymore. That's how we came up with those other sort of thumbnails and stuff. That's fine. Let's just try this out. Okay, only me. Only I can use this one right now. Part of the reason why I want to do this is I've had a number of conference talks talking about this exact thing. I don't think many people realize how easy it is to have a chatbot that only essentially points to your site. Used to be a lot more difficult. As you can see, I did that in about what, a minute or two? Let's see how it does. And what was our question again? How can I get a library card? We don't have that in there anymore. Yeah. What's it doing? Okay. Here's how you can get a public library card in your area, including... okay, it ignored that instruction. Not to say that you shouldn't also get a San Jose Public Library card, but it is interesting that it ignored that part of the instructions. Basically, I know this is hard to see on that screen. And again, for folks joining us later, we're doing a one screen, one camera setup today because, well, for various reasons, but that was the easiest setup at this moment. I do have a few people who registered, so we'll see if they appear in the next like half hour or so. This is also a good time for me to take a break and say, if you do have a question, we have one more stream scheduled for this month. We're going to take the last week of December off. You can head on over to our website here. You can click on the help menu right up there near the accounts menu and go to eHelp. And over on this page, you will have a form. You have a number to call us. You have an email address, or you can also just fill out your info in here. And we are happy to take your question, either on stream next week, or, if this is also used for every other library, e-library related, digital borrowing, tech help sort of question here. So let's get back to this setup here. Okay, so well, this is an interesting prompt. It just asked me at the end of this, it can help me sign up for a card. I'm kind of curious what that means. How can you help me start the application? Okay, now it's giving some instructions about what we can do right away, how to prepare, plan a visit. Let's start. Tell me one thing, is this library card for an adult or for a child/teen? Not quite sure why that would change the answer, but let's say it's for a child. Oh, interesting. It's like, yes, children can get a card, but you need a parent or legal guardian. Go to the online registration thing, get a library branch, finish the card. Wow, it even tells you, here's what you should say at the desk. Card rules. Want me to help you right now? No, you don't need to help me right now. I think okay, this is actually, I'll say it's pretty good compared to that first answer we just saw. Let's start a new chat with the same setup here. I remember one thing that we couldn't do last week when we were testing out the city website chatbot was find any events or book title stuff. I added something in the instructions here to say that you should use this other site to search that. So let's see if it can. Do you have an ebook copy of Dune? Search on the web. Yes, it does have an ebook copy. Okay, this is bizarre though. Let's look at these links in detail here that it just gave us. So the first one was space travel. It used as a tag search, which doesn't totally make sense, but I see Dune was like the third result there. Did it do that a bunch of times? Huh. Did you do that for all of these? It did. I am confused. Chris is confused. Okay, so in our test just now, this did find the correct ebook. It found it by searching space travel in our catalog, which is kind of confusing because it didn't. Let me just ask it. Why did you search space travel instead of the book title? Multiple question marks for emphasis here. Huh. And then it's apologizing. It's sorry about that. What should have happened? I should have gone straight to paloalto.bibliocommons.com, searched Dune Frank Herbert, then clearly told you yes or no, plus the format. Yeah. Let's see if it does this again for another, I don't know. What should we search for? Any books about Walt Disney? I'm of course thinking of that because we have the recent news about Sora, the video generator tool by OpenAI. They have some like new agreement with Disney. They have several books. Okay. And I found this one, which is definitely not. This is about Henry Ford. So this author, Stephen Watts, also wrote a book about Walt Disney, but for some reason we have, well, it found out this detail here. It went to Wikipedia. And then it said, oh, but you can also find it in the library website. This next one, called After Disney. Okay, this is right. But why? Other notable. I mean, think about that. It did find the correct result. Kind of did a little bit of like a roundabout way. It went to Wikipedia. Probably found the top page or the most popular page about Walt Disney, which was this other book, and then it searched our catalog instead of just going to the catalog directly. So we had a few like pit stops along the way. What's the top, or what's the most popular book about Disney? So I'm saying, can it actually, does it understand within our search results that we have a rating set up? What's the highest rated book in the... What's the highest rated book in the Palo Alto library, though? I'm, of course, relying on the fact that it remembers what I was asking before about Walt Disney. This is another thing we found last week that the City chatbot couldn't do, which was only doing like a one sort of... It basically could answer one question directly, and then it would forget the last thing that you said. Okay, here's the honest situation with book ratings in the Palo Alto City Library catalog, specifically for books about Walt Disney. I wasn't able to find a direct list of community ratings for these books. The catalog doesn't show ratings and search results unless you open a specific titles page. That's not true. I can tell you a very high... Okay, so here's what I was expecting. I was expecting something like, I'm gonna go to catalog, I'm gonna search Walt, not Walt Disney. And look. Sort by rating. Well, this one only has one rating and 5 stars, but one person did that, so it's probably not the best example here. I mean, there's another one here based on. Well, actually, that's kind of the best one. We could also say sort by maybe publication date, and we could go down here. We could filter. I'm not saying to do any filtering. Whoop, an error occurred. What? Crashed our website. Okay, we're sorting here. There is a way to say 4 plus 4 or more stars. I'm doing this to show you how an actual librarian might approach this question versus we kind of got like a, a random set of answers here. Of course, it also has not asked anything about me, which would be another really important thing for like this sort of AI interaction to make sense. It's like, well, the highest rated book really depends on what type of reader you are and what you're looking for and other sort of details like that. So, oh, hey, bye. We have, let's see. According to Wikipedia, there's this one. Rating is not direct from the website. The highest rated Disney book. You need to each. Not true. Okay, so what have we learned today? This can definitely search our catalog, which is really interesting, but it does not get any of this sort of metadata in here. Okay, perfect example here of what I was talking about a second ago. This title over here with 40 ratings, 4 to 5 stars, is from 2018. Where is Walt Disney World? It is written for children. So if you were talking to a human and I saw that you were a parent asking the same question in the real world, IRL, I would probably point you to this one instead of the one that Wikipedia recommended because, well, for whatever reason. What did it say was the rationale here? It is the most praised biographies overall. That is according to this Wikipedia page, which, why is it saying that? I'm not quite sure how it would reach that conclusion from this seemingly. Oh, it's because it was awarded a LA Times Book Prize for biography. Okay, so that's pretty good. That got me thinking, though. Many people don't know this, but we also have a section like that. We have an award winners option. However, I think the problem here is that you cannot search within. There's no way to really know if it's an award winner from here. Right. I might be wrong. Let's see what we have for options over here. New at the library: titles, content, audience, form, genre, ratings, tags, possibly over there. Huh. Yeah, there is kind of a gap there. Okay. So this has passed the book search test. Let's see if it has the Holy Grail, if it can search our events, because that's another thing that is that is maybe one of our biggest FAQs, is like, what's happening today? What's happening this weekend? At my local library. And first we gotta go over here. We gotta start a new chat. I have one specific event in mind, which I'm going to promote right now. Let's see if you can figure it out. So, folks, if you're watching this on Friday or Saturday, there is an event coming up on Sunday at Rinkenau Library from the Palo Alto Historical Association, also known as PAHA. And so let's see if you can get that. And if it can't, I'll show you the page. But let's see what it has. What's happening at the library this weekend? Searching events this weekend. Okay. What do we got here? Friday, we got Downtown Library Family Story Time. Learn English Holiday Fun, Mitchell Park Library. That already happened. 12 to 1 today. Then we've got this stream mentioned on here. That's nice. Although, okay, this is funny too. As much as I was excited about this, the link that it sent over went to our summer reading page, which is definitely not what I was looking for. How it came up with that, I don't know. I know these are real events though, but okay, well actually this one pointed to our teens page. Lego Fridays, that went to the kids page. So it seems like it kind of got this from scraping other sources maybe. Like it still is not searching our event calendar yet, it seems. It kind of is inferred that these events are happening because it's going to these other pages on our site, which list event details, and then kind of getting that. Oh yeah, this is happening tomorrow too, an external event at the Palo Alto Museum. Sneak peek. That's from 11 to 2. Let's see where this one, okay, it did find it here. But again, is that actually on the page? Oh, it is on this page. Okay. I mean, ideally, I would want links that go directly to the details page so you can actually like click through to find out. So far, thumbs up for actually finding events, but thumbs down for totally missing the actual like information about the event. Maybe I can fix that. I noticed some of these links don't talk about the actual event. Can you give me direct links to the event pages? Very important that it does this because if it's maybe searching other places that have reposted our stuff, or if it is, you know, relying on something that was indexed like a week ago, things change all the time and our website gets updated first. So if it is not actually referencing our website, then some people are going to show up for some events that maybe got canceled, or, you know, lots of things can happen. I want the live data here. Where is it? But it is getting, okay, with some follow-up. And I think with some training, I could probably get it to do this right away. Football book sale. Wait, is that this weekend? No. No, once again, it's good. It pointed me to April 8th, 2023. An event that has already occurred. Meditation, let's see this one. This is just going to our events page. Yes, I know. Okay, it's pointing out, go to the events directly, search there. Huh. Huh. Okay. Think there's still some work to be done here. It is like 70, 80% there, definitely closer than the test we did last week, but really, I want to emphasize again, like, when it comes to events and things happening in the real world, you want to have a primary source here. You do not want to be relying on sites that are, giving a snapshot from 2 weeks ago, or like, I mentioned this last week in the stream too. Like, I did a test run with about, what was it, 8 or 9 different chatbots for an article. I didn't write the article. I was one of the, I guess you could say, researchers. 2 other public librarians, actually one academic, another, well, they were from San Jose State San Jose State University, which has a public library and an academic library combined. So really, I guess you could say it was the full gamut. You had me as a public librarian, a sort of hybrid library, and then a full academic librarian testing out with a site called vals.ai. Basically a really easy way to compare how do different chatbots respond to the exact same query, and then it sort of aggregated all the results. Yeah, so through that, I did about maybe 100 or so of these types of questions, looking at what these things can or can't do, and like what were the obvious gaps with different setups. And the one I remember the most was one question was asking, like, is the restaurant down the street, is it still open? And depending on which you can't necessarily assume that the Google Maps version of that is going to have the most up-to-date information. I think it ended up being like a Yelp.com, like there was no's on a Yelp thing that I used. That was actually the correct information about what was happening. But yeah, depending on which site the chatbot used, maybe it thought that, oh, that was the most accurate one, or it didn't really have like a reference of like when was it last updated. So sometimes the first search result is not the correct search result. So when you're using your chatbots and you're like, oh, it can search the web, it has Google or Bing search, that still doesn't necessarily mean that it has the correct information. And again, this really depends on like how up to date their websites are. Is there an update time, like a change date listed? Yeah, that was a tangent, but that's why I'm so like kind of surprised that it's giving these, after. Okay, you know what I should say? Let's see if we can try to fix this. And I think we might end the stream a little early today because I'm a busy library services manager over here. I got some other stuff to do. My 2 people that registered did not show up today, but that's okay. We have another week. Again, next Friday we'll do the same thing here. Maybe a few more of these. But let's see if we can correct this. So the way you do that is we're going to go over here to edit GPT. And let's try to fix this. So in my prompt here, I'm saying rely on our website, answer most questions, ignore other public libraries. To search events and find book titles, use this. When you provide sources to those events or books, make sure sources are from and no other site. Okay, so we've kind of fleshed this out a little more, trying to get it to only give us sources from our library website. I don't really care if it's going to a Wikipedia article first, doing a little research over there, then searching our catalog. That's actually kind of, sometimes that's just how it works. Like, you don't always know what search term to use. You don't always know what, maybe we want to look at like a bestseller list somewhere and then go to the catalog. Like, you don't always have to start your search from our catalog. But I would want this bot to always reference our website. Because otherwise I might be sending people to like New York Public Library, San Francisco Library, other really large library systems that have millions more, accounts than we do. We're actually kind of like a small to medium-sized library system. So in terms of like search engine ranking and stuff, that could be a factor. So let's go back over here. Let's try the same thing. Maybe let's pick something different. How about, do you have the book, Who is Government? Great book, by the way. I had to return it a little bit early. It's got like 10 holds on it right now. I waited a really long time to get this one. What did it say? Here's what I found about the book Who is Government. Let's see if it's available at the library. Title, blah, blah, blah. Published March 2025. ISBN here. It told me that it searched our site and I couldn't find it. Again, I know we have this book, so flat out lying right now. It's a little bit of a well, they call them hallucinations, but AI hallucinations, but maybe it had the wrong ISBN. Maybe it tried that. No, it's right there. It's right there. 8 on 6 copies of this book. Wow. And they're all on the hold shelf. That's amazing. I've never found one like this before. Wow, okay. But again, if it had actually searched that title, it was so simple in GPT 5.2. Why didn't you do this? Just search the title on our site. It's very easy. Okay. Well, hopefully that was informative. Hopefully I've shown you that not all chatbots can replicate what humans can do. Even the simplest of tasks, like going to your website and selecting title and clicking search, it seems to be using some roundabout ways to get to those same conclusions. So yeah, still work to be done here. Let's look at some of these other, before I sign off, let's just look at the source list here. We had Amazon.com, a few of those, Barnes & Noble, Penguin, Random House, PBS, all kinds of other pages, but none of them are our website, which is, as you remember, exactly what I was saying in the prompt to do. So, oh well, okay. That's it for this week. I'm gonna head on over to that computer and we'll turn this off. Thanks for watching.